Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you till about 5 o'clock this afternoon. I hope everybody's having a great day. I'm having an all right day. I'm having an all right day. Nothing bad has happened. You can't beat that. Nothing amazing has happened either, but definitely nothing bad. So that's a good day. Couple things real quick before I get started. I was watching Wyatt live, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what he was talking about, or more, why are we having these conversations? Because it seems to be a consistent conversation now, and I don't know why. But secondly, and more importantly, I thought I heard him mention that he learned that his brother passed away. And I want to, send my condolences out to him and his family, because that's kind of a big deal, So there's that. So condolences to Randall Wyatt and to everybody affected by their loss. All right. Now let me get to the show. Let me say hello to everybody. Erica Hummins, first right out the gate, representing Reading. Good afternoon. Jerica Van, she is second. Good afternoon to you, Jerica. Lewis Talbert in the house, third. Good afternoon, Lewis. Got Anthony Prosser in the house. Good afternoon, Anthony. And rounding out the top five, Jacqueline Carter, representing Evanston. Good afternoon to you guys. I appreciate you for, checking in. I'm thinking about doing something for the top five people. I'm thinking about doing something for the top five. A little pack or something. It's something I'm thinking about. I haven't made the decision. Like maybe once a week, I'll work it all out. It's just entered into my head as I was going through the top five. I'll work it all out. I'll come up with something, maybe. But thank you for everyone in the top five for, being in the top five, for checking out, supporting the show. David Herring in the house. Good afternoon, David. David is representing Butler County. Regina Denson Griffin, representing Madisonville. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Daryl Carpenter, you say, what up, good people? Representing Forest Park. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Bonita Gaines, representing Roselawn. Good afternoon. Got Pat Rogers in the house out there in East Westwood. Good afternoon. Sierra Brooks, representing Boston, says it's hot in Boston. It ain't that bad, I'm sure. Thanks for checking out the show. Terry Anderson, downtown, checking us out. I appreciate you, Terry, and good afternoon. Samuel Campbell Jr., Sycamore Township. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let's see. DeAndre Crosby in the house. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let me see. Valisa Lovett out in Blue Ash. Good afternoon, Valisa. Jimmy Carr, Blade, good afternoon. This one is a V-neck, yes. Good afternoon. Why the V-neck hate? I'm not saying that that's what you're doing, but why do people hate V-necks? It's a nice little design, you know what I'm saying? It's a nice little, it's a neck with a V. I don't understand why people are against V-necks. But yes, this is a V-neck. Tanika in the house, representing Orlando. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. And, okay, that's that. Good afternoon. Veronica out in College Hill. Good afternoon, Veronica. I appreciate you as well. Okay. 4th of July. I didn't come on, of course. Me and Mrs. Livingston, she wanted to go to Kings Island's fireworks spectacular, or whatever it was that they called it. We go, get in, everything is cool. Right around the time, of course, the fireworks display was supposed to start. Everybody crowded towards the entrance. If you've never been to Kings Island, almost every night they do a fireworks display at 10 o'clock. And if you stand at the kind of the front of the entrance, international, whatever that is, looking towards the Eiffel Tower, you can see fireworks display. It's actually, fireworks and drones. It's a fairly decent display. But they're supposed to be taking it to the next level. They were adding lasers and all kind of stuff, to a music soundtrack, the whole nine. So she wants to go see. We got season passes. So, I take every opportunity I can to go there, get my little money's worth. So we go up there, grab a little something to eat, a little something to drink, because, we got the food and drink add-ons on the season passes. Got to get that money's worth. So we're kind of walking around the time comes for the fireworks start. Everybody gathers around the front. It was so crowded, it was uncomfortable. And people were trying to push through, and people don't know how to walk through crowds. People don't know how to walk through crowds. And I don't even know if you can teach it, but if you walking in a crowd and there's a small group of people kind of in your way, go around them. Don't try to, how do people not see? How do people not see? But anyway, it's frustrating. And I'm not even talking about during the big gathering. I'm talking about as people are leaving. Like literally, people were almost run. They have lights, big, as you're exiting, big, I'm going to call them street lights, but they're not in the street, they're just big lights. People were almost running into light poles. How do you not see a big, they got a big concrete base and the pole goes up 20, 30 feet or whatever. How do you not see that? What are you paying attention to? People got to learn how to walk in crowds. You got to learn how to walk in crowds. And if you're walking in a crowd, don't just stop. Just out of nowhere, just stop and stand there. Because then you create a hazard that people have to go around. Although the people should see you and go around, but you mess up the pacing of the crowd. Anyway, all of that. So we're watching. It was the worst fireworks display I think I've ever seen for a 4th of July. Like, I would have rather apparently been on the street that I live on, because when we got home, it was so much debris in the street. It looked like they had a really good time. Like, I've never seen a fireworks display that bad. Kings Island did a horrible job. I was so disappointed, and I was almost angry. Even though it didn't cost me anything, I was almost angry going there. But other than that, everything was great. But then I go and I look on WLWT, and apparently in Blue Ash and in Newport and maybe some other places, the teenagers were going wild. The teenagers were setting off fireworks. I think we just don't like teenagers now. I'm convinced that we've come to the point that as a society, we just don't like kids and teenagers. It's the 4th of July. Fireworks are legal now. Who wouldn't expect kids, teenagers, to set off fireworks? Who wouldn't expect that? And I hear the things, they were setting off fireworks and then they were running. And really, that's that's our big thing, is that teenagers run. We just don't like teenagers anymore. We just don't like them anymore. The stuff that I hear, the complaints that I hear about the teenagers, some are valid, but some, they're teenagers. You gotta expect teenagers to act like teenagers. You gotta expect teenagers to act like teenagers. Were you there the year that the boys got burned when the fireworks fell over at your sister's house? I'm not sure. I was there when we thought that one of my nephews got blown up at my house, of course. I was there the year that the fireworks shot at a couple of my nephews at my sister's house. But I don't know. I don't know that anybody got burned. Maybe a little, a bottle rocket exploded on somebody's chest or something like that. Man up. Man up. You got a bottle rocket to the chest. Man up. Things happen. So, Chelsea, to answer your question, sometimes things happen. If you catch a bottle rocket to the chest, that's just a part of growing up. It's just a part of growing up. If a firework doesn't shoot up in the air that's supposed to, and you get engulfed in the flame for a moment, man up. What? You gonna smell like gunpowder for about a week? You be all right. You got all your digits and everything. You didn't have to get rushed to the hospital. You'll be all right. Mishaps happen. Back to the teenagers. Look, I keep trying to get people to think back to when you were a teenager. And if you had the opportunity to go to events with large crowds of people and you and a group of your friends went, you weren't, on your best behavior. Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, sir. I'm trying to walk through. Oh, excuse me, sir. I'm trying to get... No. I'm not saying that that's good. I'm saying it's normal. It's normal. Teenagers have been doing things forever. Forever. But we hear, oh, they set off some fireworks. Oh, what we gonna do about these teenagers? We need a curfew, and we need to put the parents in jail, and we need to fine people, and we need to this, and we need to that. DeAndre say it's not a bring your own fireworks in Blue Ash. They may or may not have a rule against lighting fireworks in the little Voices of America Park or whatever it is. They may or may not. But again, and I'm not saying it's okay. All I'm saying, and I'm just trying to be honest. Teenagers have always decided we're going to break the rules. We're going to do whatever we want to do. We're going to be wild. We're going to be rebellious. Always. That's always happened. Why are we acting like we don't know that? Look, if you're not comfortable with it, don't go to events. Don't go to events if you're not comfortable with it. But wherever you go, if there's large gatherings and there are teenagers, they gonna get on your nerves. At the mall, teenagers get on your nerves. People used to complain about us as teenagers walking around the mall trying to get phone numbers. I was never all that successful at it. I wouldn't come out with numbers. Okay. But they used to complain. Oh, they in there being loud, trying to get numbers, hollering at girls. They, making all this noise. Yeah, we were. We was trying to get numbers so that hopefully we could get the draws. That's what we was trying to do. And they complained about it. Teenagers are always gonna do what teenagers do. Blaze says, stop making excuses for bad behavior. I don't think I've made an excuse for bad behavior. I've called bad behavior. But all I'm saying is all of these calls for all of this harsh punishment for teenage behavior, I think it's a little out of hand. If you catch a teenager doing something wrong and you catch them, whatever the appropriate punishment is, give the teenager the appropriate punishment. But we want to do what to them now? We want to put their parents in jail. Listen to what y'all saying. We want to put their parents in jail because they was at an event and they ran. Why do we hate teenagers? Daryl says, as a teen, we never thrown fireworks at innocent bystanders. We did. Sorry. We threw fireworks at innocent bystanders. We threw rocks at cars. We threw snowballs at cars. We did all kind of terrible stuff. We did. So, okay, y'all were, Daryl, you was an angel. A lot of us weren't. But I don't think my mama should have went to jail. For real, listen to the punishment that people are saying that they want to happen for, again, there were teenagers running. If we catch a teenager running, we should just get their parent and put them in jail for 90 days. Yes, I heard that. If you catch a teenager running in a crowd, you should catch them, get their parent, and put them in jail for 90 days for running. Why do we hate teenagers? I'm all for appropriate punishment. I'm all for appropriate punishment. Yes, if you threw a firework at an innocent bystander, that's a crime. Catch you, and what's the punishment for that crime? Is that the first time that you've been caught for a crime? Then what should we do? Now, I don't know. I don't know what the punishment is. You probably get arrested. Your parent have to come and get you. You go to court. Chances are you'll get like a probation or something like that, I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm not all that familiar with the juvenile court system. And if that's what happens, then that's what happens. Not sending their mama to jail for 90 days. Don't give them no probation. They need to spend about a year in jail. For really. Why do we hate teenagers? I don't, y'all, it just drives me crazy. Jerica says, and y'all were delinquents. Maybe we were. Maybe we were. Daryl says, it's not about being an angel. It's about not doing that stupid S. So, and you don't have to answer, but I'm going to ask you a question. When you were a teenager, did you ever do anything stupid? I'm giving you a minute to think back. Look back over your life and think things over. When you were a teenager, did you ever do anything stupid that if you got caught might have even been considered disruptive or illegal? When you were a teen, you don't have to answer out loud. Now, I'm asking everybody, but I'm addressing it to Daryl. I'm asking everybody, when you were a teenager, did you ever do anything stupid that if you would have got caught, could have got you in trouble? Now, I'm not telling you to answer. I just want you to think about it. Should your mama have gone to jail for 90 days because of it? Should you have gotten a year in jail because of it? Whatever the stupid thing was. Now, for those of you who said no, when I was a teenager, I never did anything bad. I never did anything stupid. I was like a great adult. Just younger, then great. I applaud you. And it sounds sarcastic, but I don't mean it to be sarcastic. I really do applaud you because, hey, I did stuff. I didn't do nothing real bad unless, you consider throwing fireworks at people. I didn't do nothing throwing rocks at cars, throwing snowballs at cars, stuff like that. If you consider that, real bad. And then I did stuff real bad. Getting into fights. I got into fights. Daryl says the dumb ass we did was steal out of stores. Oh my goodness, you were stealing and fighting? Stealing and fighting? Now, what would y'all say? And I'm only because Daryl brought it up. Daryl, what would you say if there was a group of kids downtown stealing and fighting? Going in the stores, stealing their stuff and fighting? What should happen? What do you think in this environment right now that goes on WLWT? It's groups of kids downtown stealing from stores and fighting. What would the response be today in the city of Cincinnati? Grab their parents, give them 90 days in jail, and lock them up for a year. That would be what everybody would be screaming about on the radio and on podcasts and city leaders and all that kind of stuff. That would be the suggestions that people would say for the stuff that you say you did. Like, come on. Is it bad? Yes. Catch them. Give them the appropriate punishment. Catch them. Give them the appropriate punishment. But all of this over the top stuff? Come on. Is it annoying? Yes. I don't go to big events anymore because I don't want to deal with them daggone teenagers. But if I did go, trust me, I'm not getting trampled. My head is on the swivel. They running. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to be running to get out of their way. And then once I get out of their way, oh my goodness, what was we running about? I don't even know what we was running about. And I'm 54 years old. I'm tired. I don't know why y'all don't like teenagers. And then to the conversation that was going on Wyatt, Fame Edsel. I still don't believe that name is Edsel. Fame brought up the conversation about corporal punishment. And I am a proponent of corporal punishment when needed. And I heard all of the people, oh my God, oh no, corporal punishment, oh, you're teaching your kids violence, oh no, you didn't. Wyatt says this, and I just don't agree with it. And again, I don't agree with it. Whoopings don't work. Because if whoopings worked, you would only have to whoop a kid once. And that sounds like really flawed logic to me. You think of any punishment, you could easily look at that punishment and say, it don't work. What do you mean it don't work? What do you mean punishments don't work? Well, if punishments work, then I would have only had to put my kid on punishment once and they'd have never done anything wrong again. Everybody would understand, like, Emanuel, that's not reasonable. That's not real. Jail don't work. What do you mean jail don't work? Well, because if jail worked, then you would only have to put somebody in jail once and they would never do anything wrong again. That's not true. It's a deterrent to a whole lot of people. I don't do stuff, that I might otherwise do. Oh, hold on. That's not the call I thought I was waiting for. I don't do stuff because, hold on, I didn't do a whole lot of stuff when I was young because I would have got a whooping. I know we just had this conversation, but it keeps coming up. But the idea that whoopings don't work because if they work, then you would only get one whooping in your whole life and you would never do anything wrong ever again. That's not how whoopings work. That's not how punishment works. It's not how any of this works. Really, the only thing that worked that way is, them executing you. All right. Once they execute you, and you're not going to do nothing bad again. Well, that's really the only one that's like one time and done. Now, I'm not a huge proponent of just whooping kids for everything. Some people genuinely don't know how it works. And I also heard, I think it was Alethea on Wyatt's show saying people had these, what I perceive to be kind of nonsensical views on like raising kids. Right? You can't do something in front of a kid and then expect the kid to not do it. Kids do what you model. And I understand there's some logic and reason to that, but we do a whole lot of stuff in front of our kids that we don't want our kids doing. Some, good, some somewhere in between, and some bad. That's not the way raising kids work. It's not the way it works. And just because something was not a deterrent for you doesn't mean it couldn't be a deterrent for someone else. And I want people to understand what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for every person. And what's ineffective on one person doesn't mean it's going to be ineffective on every person. And by we, I mean humans, we take our experiences and apply them to other people as if who I am is who everybody else is. The way I respond to a certain stimuli is the way everybody's going to respond to it. That's just not the way it works. It's just not. You're an individual. What works on you, works on you. Now, I'm going to tell you, in terms of me, some of the stuff that I hear people say worked, it would have never worked. Timeout would have never worked on me. Would have never worked on me. To me, I'm telling you, the threat of that whooping was all it took. And I would have had to, in some way, shape, or form, know that it was a real threat. It wasn't an empty threat. Like, if you do this, I'm going to whoop your ass. Like, she just saying that. And then once I get my ass whooped, like, no, she really mean that. I'm not going to do that no more. The threat of it worked on me. So for some people, Samuel says he was afraid to embarrass his parents. Again, I don't really, I've never really looked at stuff in that light. So that was never a concern for me. Like, oh, if I do this, how bad is my parent? It's going to embarrass them. How bad are they going to feel? I never thought about that. I always thought, oh, if they find out, I'm going to get a whooping. So I'm not going to do it. What works for you wouldn't have worked for me. I really do remember my daddy telling me he was disappointed in me once. And I thought, you ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. If you're disappointed because you found that out, oh my goodness, all the other stuff that you're going to be really disappointed. You're going to be really disappointed. That didn't work on me. But when he went and got that brand new white leather belt, which again, he always had a brand new white leather belt. When he went and got that brand new white leather belt, hey, I'm not going to do nothing that he can find out about and maybe use that belt on me. That's what worked on me. That's what worked on me. I believe parents need classes and all of that kind of stuff, especially a lot of these younger parents. I think they need classes. We need to learn how to teach our children, all that kind of stuff, but we also need to learn how to read our children. Again, this is the same conversation that we had, last week. You can't raise every child the same. Well, when you whoop a kid, you teaching them that the way to conflict resolution is violence. No. At least that wasn't what I got out of it ever. I never got that out of it because, I had parents who taught us to talk. So I knew violence wasn't an answer to conflict resolution, but I knew if I did certain things, I was going to get a whooping because it was definitely a punishment. When I got a whooping, my parents wasn't trying to resolve no conflict. That wasn't what they was doing. When they wanted to resolve a conflict, we gonna sit down and we gonna talk. You gonna tell me how you feel, and he gonna tell me how he feel, or she gonna tell me how she feel, and she gonna tell me how she feel, and we gonna talk about it. We understood conflict resolution. If I went and stole from a store, we wasn't trying to resolve no conflict. I was getting punished. So I would have never taken from a whooping that this is how you resolve conflict. Oh, okay. This is how you deal with people who don't do what you want them to do, because that was never what it was. This is a punishment for some severe things that you've been talked to about, and you've been told that if you do that, this is going to happen. That's it. I don't know that a lot of people understand, like even a lot of grown people who done raised children, maybe they didn't understand corporal punishment. Maybe it wasn't explained to them. Or again, maybe, it didn't work for them like it worked for me. And I didn't get a whole lot of whoopings. I didn't get a whole lot of whoopings. The ones I got were impactful. But I didn't get a whole lot of whoopings. I remember the last whooping I got. I remember the last one I got. Was I either 14 or 16? And I think me and Nate got into it, and somehow I ended up getting a whooping. But I remember Mama, who was short, I think at this point I was taller than her, and she called herself trying to whoop me. And I remember looking at her, thinking, what are you doing? Like, this don't even hurt. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? And she was wearing herself out. It ain't working. And I could have grabbed her and stopped her from whooping. Give me that belt. It don't work no more. Who you think I am? So I remember them. And again, I didn't get a lot of them, but and would I say they worked in the sense that they worked in this sense? I didn't want to get a whooping. So I tried to avoid doing stuff that I thought would get me a whooping. Now, y'all know me in terms of, to some degree, how my brain works. So, yeah, when I was throwing snowballs at cars, I never thought that was something that I would have been punished with a whooping with. Because it was never expressly prohibited. You know what I'm saying? That's the way my brain, even as a kid, my brain worked like that. Like, oh, I'm throwing snowballs at cars. Like, ain't nobody ever told me, do not throw snowballs at cars or you're going to get a whooping. I think if somebody would have told me that, I would have, when they was throwing snowballs at cars, I'd have been like, I'm not throwing no snowballs at no cars. You say what y'all want to say. That'd get me a whooping. I'm not going to do it. But it was not expressly prohibited. So in my mind, if it was not expressly prohibited and I got caught doing it, I would have been able to say, hold on. Like George Costanza, I'm sorry, is that frowned upon? No, nobody ever told me that that sort of thing was frowned upon. I'm gonna have to plead ignorance here. If someone had told me that I was not allowed to throw snowballs at cars, I would not have thrown those snowballs. But I'm sorry, I didn't know. But next time you get caught throwing snowballs, and then I would have not thrown any more snowballs. My brain works like that. I don't know why my brain always worked like that. Spencer says, you knew right from wrong. It's not about right from wrong. It's about what's going to give me a whooping and what's not. That's what it's about. What's going to give me a whooping and what's not. You got to lay the rule out for me. Lay it out for me. If it's so egregious, then I understand that, it might. But throwing snowballs at cars was not that egregious. They explode on impact, and they don't cause any damage. Maybe a little dent, but what's a little dent? I didn't have no car. I didn't know that was a big deal. What's a little dent? Linda says there's a bear running loose somewhere in Cincinnati. Where would a bear come from? What, did it like escape from the zoo or something? Why would there be a bear running loose in Cincinnati? I'm going to have to look that up. Linda, I think you might have just made that up. You might have just made that up. I'm going to look it up. But yeah, no. But at least in my household, now again, parenting lessons are needed. But I don't think people understand, 'cause there is a difference between teaching some of these life lessons and receiving a punishment. At least in my opinion. There's a difference. And I think some people take the wrong lessons from stuff. A few people are saying it's true. It's a black bear running. I said I'm going to have to look it up. That just sounds like something that somebody made up. Like the monkeys. Remember the monkeys? That was on the news too. Remember it was a pack of monkeys? They was black monkeys. It was a pack of black monkeys in the trees of Cincinnati. And did anybody ever find those monkeys? Right, LaDonna. Just like they said it was monkeys running around. L Rock says, it's true, Emanuel. A black bear is running wild in Cincinnati. Do they have a picture of the black bear? Hold on, let me go to the news site. Oh, come on. I'm looking on the news site. I'm looking for the black bear. I'm looking for a bear loose. I'm looking to see a picture. Okay. Black bear spotted running through Green Hills. Let me see this story. That looked like a big dog. A new resident made their arrival known in Green Hills. The village's police department said an officer spotted a black bear in the commons during routine patrol. The bear is running. The officer attempts to shine a spotlight on it while driving. Police say the bear's last known location was behind Our Lady of Rosary Church on Farragut Road. see. They don't like noise. Be loud to scare them off. Remain calm. Don't corner it. That look like a big dog to me. Y'all saying it's a bear. They said it's a bear, but I'm looking at this picture. That look like a big dog. But it might be a bear. It might be a bear. They got pictures. That look like a big dog to me. That don't look like a bear to me. But if they say it's a bear, then I'll accept it's a bear. If they say it's a bear, I'll accept it's a bear. But okay, so what? That bear don't want you. That bear don't want you. So just be aware that there's a bear, allegedly a bear. That could be AI for all I know. That could be AI. I don't know if that's a real bear. You know, them deep fakes look real. Sierra say play the clip. Hold on, let me see if I'm looking. I don't know. That still look like a big dog, but it could be a bear. It could be a bear, but it could be AI. I don't know. I don't know. Just be aware. Just be aware. What else can you say? What do you want to say about? Let's put the black bear's mama in jail for 90 days. What do you want? He was running. He was running. Daryl says it's a cub too, so the mama bear is close around. That bear don't want you. What else is going on? Hold on, let me just kind of put a bow on this whooping thing. Corporal punishment. Or as some people call it, beating your kids. Which, hold on, let me be clear. Hold on. Crystal says, it's real. I saw the news coverage with the person's actual footage. If you give me enough time, I can come up with some news footage where there's a bear standing right behind me on camera. So that's his actual footage. Okay, yeah. So AI can do some amazing things. AI can do some amazing things. Okay, I believe it could be a bear. I'm not concerned about a bear running around. I'm just not. Hopefully that don't come back to bite me, literally. Because I can just see me going out to the car. Because tomorrow I'm doing some work on my daughter's car. I can just see me outside doing some work on her car and a black bear come up and maul me. Y'all be on here talking about, told him it was a black bear, but his dumb ass talking about it was AI. He wouldn't have got mauled if he would have listened. I hear y'all. And y'all would have a good time with that too. I know y'all would. If it turned up on the news, Emanuel Livingston, they wouldn't say Emanuel Livingston because nobody know me. Some guy got mauled by a black bear while working on a car. Y'all would be all on my timeline with jokes. Guess that bear wasn't AI, was it? I'm mad at y'all just thinking about the stuff y'all would say. Linda would be the first one. I told his dumb ass it was a black bear. I'm all mauled up in the hospital, and y'all putting gifts on my timeline of bears and stuff. I could see it. I could see it. So I hope that's not the case. I hope that's not the case. But maybe it was a big dog that mauled him. Like, that ain't funny. That ain't funny. He fighting for his life, and y'all got jokes. What else is going on? Wait, I was still trying to wrap up the whole corporal punishment thing. I do believe people beat their children. I believe people talk too harsh to their children, nowadays. I really do. I believe all of that stuff. Because I believe it's like a way to do everything. And as a society, we need parenting lessons. Because I think it's almost equally abusive to just let your child run around wild, which, I see happen in a lot of communities. I see kids in the store throwing themselves on the ground and hollering and screaming and, parents dragging their kids because their kid don't want to walk and all of that kind of stuff. And they done negotiated with them as much as they can and they can't figure out how to fix it. I see kids acting wild and parents just counting. Just counting. I've never understood the counting. Tanner, get off the floor. Tanner, Tanner, stop it. Tanner, 1. Tanner, you better get up. 2. Tanner, you're embarrassing me, Tanner. Get up off the floor. 3. Tanner, if you don't stop, Tanner. 4. And I'm thinking, what's the magic number? Do Tanner know the magic number? Shouldn't you get closer to the magic number faster? If the magic number is 5, I'm telling you how my mama would have worked the number system. Man, because that's my nickname growing up. Man, get your ass up off that floor. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would have been it. I'd have been up by 5. If the magic number was 10, get your ass up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They be talking in between. Tanner, if you don't stop it. 2. Tanner, I'm so embarrassed. And you're not. This is not how we act in public, Tanner. Come on, get up. Mommy wants you to get up, Tanner. 3. What? What's the number? Can I do the counting, lady? Can I do the counting? And I got a belt. I do. I got a belt right here. You want a belt? I got a belt. Tanner, if you don't get your ass up, we going to have problems. What's the number, lady? 7? That's an odd number to make the magic number. But, okay. Tanner, I'm counting to 7. And at 7, I'm putting this belt on you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tanner is up. Tanner is up. So I never understood the count. I think that's abusive too. Why is man or man the blackest nickname in the hood? Well, I mean, Emanuel. It's reasonable for your nickname to be man, shorten it up. That's a reasonable nickname for Emanuel. Drop the E and drop the U. That's a reasonable nickname. Why you getting on my nickname? But no, I really do. I believe that's abusive as well. That's abusive as well. Now, maybe not so much in this society. Maybe not so much in this society. And Sierra says, so you're cool with teenagers running around, throwing firecrackers in the crowd, but Tanner can't fall out in the store. Well, first, I never said I was cool with it. I said it was not good, but it's still teenage behavior. Just like falling out on the floor is, now I wouldn't say if you see Tanner fall out on the floor, lock his mom up for 90 days. Like, come on. No, I wouldn't say that. But Tanner should receive an appropriate punishment, just like the kids running or the kids throwing firecrackers. There should be an appropriate punishment for whatever the infraction is. That's what I'm saying. CK.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Livingston?
CK, I'm doing well. How are you?
Hey, I was doing good, man. I was listening to your show today, and you're talking about a bear and
Yes.
the irony.
Apparently, allegedly, there's a bear running around somewhere in the greater Cincinnati area.
Yeah. I think that's an honorable death, but I would not like to see you go out like that at all. Nah.
How is that honorable?
It's honorable. You know, you out there working on the car, cutting the grass, you know what I mean? You just out there. He was a good man. He didn't see this coming. It's honorable. You know what I mean?
Okay. It's not dishonorable, so I guess I'll agree with you, yes.
So, how did you enjoy your 4th of July, sir? Your fireworks?
They were terrible. Worst fireworks that I think I've ever been to.
Where was this at?
Kings Island. They were horrible.
Okay, I thought you was about to say Blue Ash. So Blue Ash is good there.
Now, we went to Blue Ash a few
hold on.
years ago. Mrs. Livingston didn't want to go back because she didn't like the fact that we had to park kind of far away and then walk to where, and it was just, because we didn't want to spend the whole day there. We really just wanted to show up, see the fireworks, and go home. And so she didn't like that entire process, so she didn't want to go back there. But their fireworks display was a nice fireworks display when I was there.
But I appreciate y'all going to look at the fireworks instead of, I think that's a lot safer than when you go buy them. Why waste all that money, man? You buy them and then it's so dangerous. I had one of my partners blew his hand off Friday, man. So I like just going to watch it. I mean, because, was you the type of guy that's like, you do it?
Yeah, I love setting off fireworks. Every once in a while, we buy fireworks instead of going to fireworks. You know, when we have a family gathering, every once in a while, we'll buy fireworks. I love setting off fire. Sure, there's been a mishap or two. Like I said, you catch a bottle rocket to the chest, you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? But I love setting off the fireworks.
Even to this day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't have a lot of little kids anymore. When the kids was little, man, because there's, it's up close and personal. Sometimes a little too close and too personal. But it's up close and personal. And little kids, maybe 12 years old down, they love that. They love those fireworks where, they right there, they standing there, they loud, they screaming or, whatever, and just enjoying it. It's a great time. Yeah.
But, okay. You being a guy, you're a nice guy. You jolly. But you saying the worst you got was a bottle rocket to the chest? Is that the worst injury you received in your lifetime?
I didn't get the bottle rocket to the chest. One of my nephews got a bottle rocket to the chest, and another nephew almost got blown up. But other than that, we didn't really have any injuries. And the bottle rocket to the chest didn't really hurt. It's like, rub some dirt on it, you'll be all right. So he didn't have to, he didn't need any medical attention or anything like that.
Okay, let me tell you, man. I'm worried about my partner, man, because he's like one of those real aggressive guys, the life of the party. And he just blew his hands off. And it's just like, the way I know him, I'm like, I know his personality. I'm like, he gonna be a totally different guy.
What's his name?
He like to fight and everything.
What's his name?
Oh man, Emilio.
What?
Yep.
What?
Emilio.
Emilio. So he a Latino? He a Latino brother?
Yeah, man. But he hang with us. But yeah, he one of them.
Where did this happen?
He one of them. In Cali.
Oh.
California. Yeah, man. He messed up, man. But I'm like, man, he's so aggressive, man. I'm like, I just feel that it's gonna change him like forever. His whole trajectory gonna be different. But
what firework?
Hold
on, what firework was he lighting that blew his hand off?
I think it was one of them M80s or M1000. They bigger now, but it's like the M80s we used to do, but I guess they're more powerful. Man, them things is too dangerous for real. That's one thing, Mr. Livingston. I think they too powerful, man. They blowing limbs off. They wasn't as powerful like that when we was coming up. I think that's the problem too.
What was he? He was holding
and I
it.
think the fuses.
Hold on. He just decided to hold it and let it blow up in his hand.
No, I mean we don't have the logistics and all that now, but they saying it went off in the car. It went off in the car. They did it in the car, throwing it out the car. Yeah, he's throwing them out the car, but it blew up in the car. Yep. It blew up in the car, man. His partner got hurt too. His friend face messed up, but I don't know his friend.
You sure they didn't just have a stick of dynamite? It sounds like they had some C4 or a stick of dynamite.
That's what it is now. That's what you're working with now, man. That stuff is blowing. You see what it did to JPP hand? That was 15 years ago. He ain't got no hand no more.
No, I didn't. I don't know I don't know who that is or what you're talking about.
Oh no! When an NFL player from the Giants, he had a 4th of July 15 years ago, and he was only 26 at the time, and he blew his hand off. And I think they're way too powerful now.
You mean he damaged?
We might need to.
Just so I'm clear, you're saying he damaged his hand?
Yeah, JPP one blew up in his hand and mangled his hand.
Yeah, okay. He damaged.
I think that the fireworks are too powerful. I think he damn near ain't got no hand no more. He got half a hand.
Okay.
JPP, you remember him, Don?
No, I don't. But I'll take your word for it.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, but how do you think the fireworks are too powerful for the public to be buying?
No, not if you know what you're doing. Like if you try to be reasonable with it. If you lighten a firecracker or what? I guess what you said, it wasn't an M80. You lighting a M96,000, then don't hold it and light it. Like light it, sit it down, light it, and then back away. Like that's what you do.
And don't forget though, they hold air. It's just like you said about the monkey. They laughing at you now if you get ate up by that bear. Remember? Because he was doing that. He online bragging about what he about to do with the fireworks, and then that happened to him shortly thereafter. So that's what gave me the bright idea to call your platform, because of what happened to you. Because you said they would laugh at you if you got attacked and killed by a bear.
They would.
Right?
They would. They would.
So
just for the record,
would they laugh?
I would understand it if that happened. I would understand it.
Would they laugh at you if you got your hand blown off in a fireworks accident?
I don't think so. Unless I was sitting here talking about it like nobody ever get their hand blown off in a firework accident and then it happened to me. I think, people will make fun of you, if you do stuff like that.
Yeah, but he was on live. This is what he was saying. He had them in his hand, showing it on his hand. He said, "Yeah, I'm about to blow some shit up. I'm about to blow up somebody's house up. I'm about to blow somebody up tonight." That's exactly what he said. And less than 40 minutes later, that happened to him.
Yeah, I would make fun of that person. I would definitely make fun of that person if I knew him.
Yeah. He's in trouble, but yeah, I just called to tell you that story. And like I said, just be careful with the fireworks. And it's interesting to hear that you one of the guys that like playing with. When I first heard, so you never got scared when you was younger and heard about people getting their hands blown off. It didn't scare you?
No, because I wasn't gonna be holding on to no fireworks until they blow up.
Right, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. You said just be safe when you're dealing with them.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense, Miss. Hey, thank you, Mr. Livingston. I just want to call and share that with you, man.
Tell your worker. I
thought
thought I heard your worker in the background. Tell your worker that I said hello.
She pretty. You want me to tell her that you said hello?
Yeah.
The pretty girl?
But pretty, ugly, whatever. Just I heard your worker in the background, and I just wanted you to tell them hello.
I looked at her when she was talking too. I was looking at her. I wanted I did. So what was your thoughts on the ass whooping? Did you agree with the ass whooping or you was against it?
I think they are misused and maybe overused, but when done right, in the right circumstances, to the right people in the right way, I think they can be effective.
Mm-hmm.
It's an effective punishment because that's all it should be. Maybe is a punishment. That's it.
Because if you my daddy, right? You're my daddy, and you telling me get your ass in your room. You say, look, CK, get your little ass in the room, right? And I say, fuck you, Dad. At that point, I think you got to put hands on. How did you handle that? You be like, CK, get into the room. I say, F you, Dad. Now, what do you do there?
Probably say, get in the room. And you, if you have to make them go in the room. Well, hold on. I can't even really imagine that because I've raised my kid to a point where my kid not going to say that. So I just...
And there you go. That's my point right there. That's it. That's what makes people go off because you got hit with something you wasn't expecting that makes you turn violent. Because you like, this motherfucker, he just say what he said. I just think he said. Then you start whooping his ass. That's how assholes usually start. Because they do something you can't believe.
I mean, if that happened, if my son would have ever said that to me, I definitely would have approached him aggressively and said, what did you say? And, that would have probably changed the situation. Or if he decided to say it again, it all depends on how old he is. If he's old enough to get out, it's time for you to go. Because
we're talking 13. We're talking 13 years old.
Well, yeah, I can handle that. I mean, that, and I don't have to whoop his ass and all of that kind of stuff. I might snatch him up.
Hem him up a little bit. I got you.
Yeah, I might snatch him up. Snatch him by the collar or something like that, and pull him close to me and let him know that's disrespectful and it's not acceptable or whatever. But I don't know. I would have to be in the midst of the situation, understanding everything about the situation, what led to it, how was the conversation going, why am I even telling him to get to his room? There's a whole lot of factors at play, but I just, having never experienced, my son did challenge me once when he got about, 15 or 16 or whatever. And, I had to wrestle him and hold him down. But, that's because he was much bigger than me and, he played football and he was always in the gym working out. And for whatever reason, he thought, I can whoop you. And I still didn't like sock him and, beat him up. I just had to hold him down to let him know, like, no matter how big and strong you think you are, it ain't never, ever, as long as I'm alive, going to be that easy for you. And, as I was holding him down, he was trying to get up and, I showed him he couldn't get up because I did wrestle a little bit, in junior high. So, showing that
how difficult was that right there?
Oh, it was very difficult because he was a big, strong, athletic kid. But I still held him. And then once he realized that he couldn't get up, I was able to, while still holding him down, have a conversation with him and, by the time he got up, we was both laughing about the fact that, he ain't stronger than me, and he was convinced that one of these days he gonna be stronger than me. And I just kept telling, whenever you want to go again, bring it. And we laughed about it. So yeah, you can turn a situation. Everything don't have to be a beat down or anything like that. Some stuff is just, it's natural. A young 15, 16-year-old boy, I think it's kind of natural at some point for him to maybe, think about challenging his parent. And everything don't have to turn into a life or death struggle, or a beat down. So there's ways to handle everything.
But with my stepson, I didn't stop whooping their ass until they could whoop me. I just kept beating their ass until like you said, they get 16, 17, then they got me. Then all right, but I ain't gonna stop beating on you till you can beat me. Then the ass whoopers will stop. So,
yeah, that sounds a little crazy, but again, different people, different things.
Dysfunctional. It's called dysfunctional, sir.
Yes, that sounds dysfunctional.
Yeah, it was good, man. Yeah, but they, like I said, it turned out great. That was vegan. But I like Wyatt. That's why I was just trying to tell Wyatt, listen, sir, you turned out great. Don't complain about the discipline, corporal punishment you received as a child. It made you a wonderful guy and a parent. That's what you got to realize. Don't look at the bad parts of the discipline. I hate when people do that, Livingston. They always just want to look at the bad part. Look at what it made you, a great king of talk. Thank you for your support, sir. Thank you.
All right. That was CK. I had to say, I don't, he tells stories, and, sometimes I feel like challenging him and telling him I don't believe you. Other times I just let him tell his stories. So it is what it is. It didn't hurt to hear him tell the story. It didn't hurt to hear him tell his story, and, he got it out. So maybe, somebody's life will be better because he got that story out. It's Steban. Steban is here. Steban Speed. He put a comment in Wyatt's chat, and I disagreed with him. And he asked me to elaborate, but I was too busy to elaborate when he asked me to elaborate. So somebody was on there, and they were saying something about a stepfather. I think it might have been, I don't know who it was. Somebody said something about a stepfather giving them a whooping, or beating them, or whatever it was. And Steban said something along the lines of no reasonable mother or no good mother would ever let a stepfather put a hand on their child, or something like that. Steban, if I'm mischaracterizing what you said, because I don't remember exactly the wording. I don't remember the wording that you used. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I don't remember the wording that you used. What did you say exactly, Steban? Because I remember I disagreed with it, and I said circumstances matter. And while I wait for him to respond, look, one of the things, and I believe I've said this earlier, but maybe I'm reiterating, one of the things that bothers me, and it ain't just about corporal punishment, and it ain't just about people act as if situations and circumstances don't matter and don't make a difference. So people make these blanket statements, and I get frustrated when I hear blanket statements. Now, I also understand that sometimes people make blanket statements just because, I don't have time to be all specific and, put all kind of qualifiers and all that kind of stuff. So it's a general statement that applies to maybe the general public, but not every person in every single situation. But that bothers me, because people listen to these things and people internalize them. And like you get people on juries who honestly believe, you see something happen and, oh, well, I didn't believe them because grieving people don't react like that. And you don't know how grieving people will react, but because you've heard that this is how grieving people react, or because the grieving people that you've seen, this is how they react, you attribute that to everybody in grief, and that's not how they react. So I don't like it when people say, blanket statements like that. I want us all to at least try to understand that what they say, there's an exception to every rule, except the rule that there's an exception to every rule, which then makes it the exception to the exception rule. So when you say stuff like that, I get bothered. Staban said, I said, no good mother would let a step-parent whoop their child. And I disagreed with that. And I said it all depends on the situation. For example, when I met my ex-wife, she had a son who was, how old was he? Like 6 months old, I think. I raised that boy from 6 months old. I provided the financial support, the emotional support. I was there. I gave baths. I cooked dinner when needed. I changed diapers. I raised that child from 6 months old. She'd have been out of her mind. I mean, you can't discipline my child. You can't whoop my child. Please, this is my kid. This is my kid. I'm the stepfather. And you gonna tell me I can't? I'm here every day, every night, doing homework, taking them to school or picking them up from school, coaching. And I didn't even play no football, but I'm coaching football to make sure that he has a good experience. And, like I said, I'm supporting financially and emotionally and anything that happens. I'm there. Please, you be out your mind, or you can't put your hand on my kid. Then I got to go. If I can't raise a kid the way that I'm supposed to raise a kid, I can't raise that kid. So that's why it all depends on the situation. Now, maybe if I came in and he was 14, or I came in and he was 10, his daddy's still in his life and, they had a relationship and he's supporting, and I'm just there as support staff. Then you might have a point there. And I do say you might have a point there. Because it all depends on the situation. It all depends on the situation. You got to know your kid. You got to know Terry says, that's understandable, but you have moms who change men every 6 months. Ain't no way she should be allowing a man to put his hands on her child. I don't know that I agree with that either, kind of holistically. I think I might have used that wrong. In its entirety, I don't know if I agree with that in every situation, even given that situation. But I understand it more there. I understand it more, given that set of circumstances. But again, that all depends. I I imagine that there is a circumstance, even in the cases where the mama change men every 6 months, where what is the kid doing? So do the step parent or the whatever you calling him, he just gotta, what if the kid is super wild, out of hand, and physically violent? But the step parent really want to be there and help put this kid on the right path, because this is one of the ones where you change, and this is actually a good dude who care about the mama and her child. And this kid come in wilding, assaulting the mama. As the step parent, I just got to stand there and watch it, because I can't put my hands on him. I just got to stand there and watch like, oh, damn, he beating her ass. But I can't put my hands on him. If I grab him off of her, that's putting my hands on him. If I push him up against the wall to stop him, that's putting my hands on him. I can't put my hands on him because I'm the stepdaddy, but he is beating her ass. Let me call 911. Situations and circumstances matter. It all depends on the situation. It all depends on the situation. And that's when I hear men, responsible men, talking about not wanting to be with women with children, this is one of the biggest issues. This is one of the biggest issues. Because I'm not trying to go to jail because your kid is out of control. I didn't raise that kid. So I'm not trying to go to jail because your kid is out of control. And what you expect me to do, like, y'all, I know we all see the little things. Oh, she got 8 kids, and then the daddy or 2 of the kids brought his kids something to eat, but didn't bring nothing for the other kids. We all see that stuff. And, a lot of that stuff be far-fetched, but I imagine it can be real and it can happen in real life. So you want me to help raise your 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. You want me to have a responsibility of teaching them, loving them. What if I got kids? Well, you got to be able to love my kid the same way you love your kid. Okay. I got to be able to love my kid the same way that I love your kid. I love my kid so much that under certain circumstances, I might have to put my hands on them. You got a problem with me putting my hands on your kids? Then I can't love your kid the same way I love my kid. If I can't treat your kid the same way I treat my kid, I can't love your kid the same way. If I can't provide for your kid the same way I provide for my kid. I can't be there emotionally for your kid the same way I would be there. If I don't have all of the rights and responsibilities, there's going to be a difference between my kid and your kid. It's the way it is. And I think, the idea of having somebody, different people in their life every 6 months, which I imagine, could be the case. Could be the case. But I like to think that that's the extreme. But like I was saying, even in the extreme, under certain circumstances, it's reasonable. So I've been there for 5 months and he whooping his mama's A. What's my responsibility? Who was that? Terry? Yeah, Terry. What's my responsibility? It's going on. It's going down. I come in from work and I see this 13-year-old boy on top of his mama throwing haymakers. What is my responsibility? Should I just go upstairs? Should I just go upstairs and be like, that's a damn shame? What's my responsibility? Jerica says, call the police. So my responsibility, call 911. But let him keep beating that ass. Let him keep beating that ass. Because that ain't my kid. I can't put my hands on him. Princess Flower says, leave that toxic relationship. In the moment. So, wait, you saying I walk in, he on top of his mama wailing on her, I should go upstairs, pack my stuff, and leave. That's what you're saying I should do? While it's going down. It's going down. Pack my stuff and leave. Walk on out. Jerica says, grab him off her, of course. No! Remember, I'm not allowed to put my hands on him. Not allowed to put my hands on him. If I'm grabbing him off of her, I'm putting my hands on him. There's a really good chance he gon', not just let me put my hands on him and grab him up off of her. There's gonna be a struggle. What's my responsibility? Try to talk to him. I should try to talk to him. I should say, you're wrong for doing that, Raekwon. Raekwon, you really should stop whooping your mama ass. I'm going to tell. I'm calling the police right now, Raekwon. Remember, I can't put my hands on it. I'm now packing my clothes, too, because it's a toxic relationship. I'm leaving. Even though I ain't never had no problems with the mama. But I'm not going to deal with this. Somebody tell me, what am I supposed to do? Fame!
Hi, Edsel. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
But you can call me Fame. That's cool if that's what you knew me as. But I'm just going by my government name, Edsel. Anyway, how are you though? It's always a pleasure.
Man, I'm doing good. It is always a pleasure. How are you? And I heard somebody say your birthday was recent. When was your birthday?
Yesterday.
Oh, and my daughter's birthday was yesterday too. She turned 30.
That's what, yeah.
So yeah.
So in 1976 and in 1993, two great people escaped the skins.
1995.
95. She turned 17, you said?
I said she turned 30.
Oh, 30. I'm tripping. I'm sorry. Interesting. This has been interesting, talking about this, the situation with these kids and putting hands on them. And now you're introducing the step parent aspect of it. I would just like to say that being a stepdad is one of the worst experiences I ever underwent because of what you said. It's like, okay, I gotta, enforce some discipline around this house, but these niggas will call the police on me.
Yeah.
And there's no guarantee how the cookie what mom gonna do once the cookie starts to crumble. You know what I'm saying? She could flip either side. I don't know what she'll do.
Right.
I would advise it against every man at all costs. If you're a man with options, do not date a woman with children, even if you have children.
I hear that. I hear that a lot from men. And there are, of course, so many women out here with children who are not married, who are looking for somebody. And, they don't understand why men don't want to date women with children. Well, let alone married.
First things first. If you weren't married to, how many kids do you have and how many baby daddies are there involved? Because the more baby daddies, the more personalities you got to deal with. Potentially personalities you got to deal with.
True.
Because, nobody has, two kids that are exactly alike and if they coming from two different stock of seeds, it's gonna be they're gonna have some personality conflicts, and then you got to deal with the multiple personalities in the house. So it's not to besmirch women who have children or anything like that. It's just for your own personal sanity. If you have options, stay the hell away from them. I mean, it's no different than telling a man who was like a millionaire he wouldn't go date a chick from Winton Terrace, more than likely. Or some ghetto broke down chick. He wouldn't. He just wouldn't. And that's what I'm saying to men who don't have children. You don't have children, stay away from them. You're just gonna add a bunch of potential consequences and drama into your life that you didn't ask for.
Even if you have children, I would say even more so if you have children, stay away from them, because there's always going to be that comparison. You treat your kids this way and you treat my kids this way. You do this for your kids, but you do that for my kids. That creates a whole different level of confusion.
And you know what's funny you say that, because that happened to me. The boys were 16. Her boys were 16 and 14. My kids were maybe 8 and 5 at the time, somewhere around there. And one of them said that to me. You treat your kids blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, if I can be honest with you, since, you play sports, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, think of it as a team. I treat all my players equally, but I don't treat them all. I treat them all fairly, but I don't treat them all equally. From age 6 years old, when you're first coming out playing football, that star, that kid who's so fast that nobody can really touch, he gets treated a little different in practice. He gets treated a little different in game. It's okay that if practice starts at 6, his mom has him popping up at 6:17. He's a little different. He's special. He makes the team win. I had to break it down to him like that. But they were kind of they were aggressive to their mom. They weren't putting hands on her, but they had no problem calling her bitches and things like that. And one day I just had to break them down. Like, look, man, and yes, before anybody say anything fucked up, these were black boys, 100% black boys, talking to their black mama fucked up like that out in Westchester. And I just had to break it down to him on the street level one day. I said, look, I can't have you talking to my woman like that. No more your mom, no more cussing in the house. I can't have you talking to my woman like that. If you do it again, we're going to have to go a couple rounds. It didn't happen again, because he felt the sincerity in my words and my voice. But it was a simple fact that I had to do that to even potentially risk my own freedom, because if he buck up, I got to take him down just on GP. You understand?
I do.
So, yeah. So, men, if all you men out there listening, if you got a son, a nephew, cousin or something who's young or even old, doesn't have children, you're just you're just that desperate to have a family, go make one. Do not date women with children. I'm not going to disrespect them and say let them handle their own problems and all that. No, it ain't about that. It's just for your own protection. It's kind of like the seatbelt. You don't necessarily need it, but it's nice to have it if some shit if some shit goes left. And that's how you deal with women with kids. It's nice to not have to deal with that, just in case your relationship goes left. You understand? So, yeah, that's all I got. It's always a pleasure, Emanuel, and I just want to remind y'all before I go that y'all don't deserve me. Oh!
All right. Y'all don't deserve. We don't deserve him. I would say, though, the same thing for women. I see a few people on here said, my daughter or, my friend's daughter, my granddaughter, whatever, won't date a man with a man? Won't date a man with children. And I understand that. And I think it depends, again, on the situation. It depends on the situation. How healthy is the relationship? Like, how healthy of a child is this? You know, I mean, is this a well-adjusted child? Is this going to create issues, or is everything going to be okay? All of that kind of stuff. What expectations do you put on the person coming into your life? Like, are you like, this is my daughter, so this is your daughter. This is my son, so this is your son. Like, especially if that person does not have children. So they got to treat your kid as if it were their kid when maybe they've made a decision to not have children. They're not here to raise your child. But because you with me, now you got to raise my kid. She might not want that. And again, what kind of, is this a well-adjusted kid? Is this a kid that's running around acting a fool? That's got, normal teenage stuff is going to come up. Normal teenage stuff is going to come up. What's your relationship like with your son or with your daughter? Are you going to be asking your significant other to step in? Like, all of that stuff, Matt, you have to think about all of that stuff when you're looking at dating someone with children. And of course, the relationship with the other parent. All of that stuff is important. Twin.
What's up, man?
Hey, what's up?
Oh, nothing. Just listening, man. Just listening.
Are you laying down again?
I'm sitting outside watching both corner case that bear fly through here.
Oh, okay.
That thing got me scared, man.
Why? That bear don't want you.
That's what they all say.
who all says that?
That's what they all say, man. That bear running loose, man, got me scared.
What part of town you live in?
I'm in College Hill. But
That bear in Green Hills. That bear ain't nowhere near you.
Yeah, whatever. Man, he in Westchester now.
That mean he moving even further and further out. That bear don't want you. You still looking for monkeys in the trees too?
No, I don't see no monkeys. I saw an owl 3 months ago. I was sitting outside watching my dog, and he had long wings and everything. One in the tree, and I'm like, ain't no way. And I'm looking. I said, come on, call my dog. Let's go. Said, man, I got the birds and the bees and flies and all that, and got the deers right here. And I'm like, man, I live in a jungle. I ain't with this. I can't even sit outside, man.
Hold on. You said, what is an owl gonna do? What's an owl gonna do?
Man, he's staring at me crazy, man. I don't know what he gonna do, but why he looking at me like that?
You scared because an owl is
like,
staring at you?
Man, I got bats and everything, man, and the owl. Cause I had to see, man. I'm like, no, I ain't tripping. I'm flicking the lights. I'm like, man, I don't know what that was. Then I looked. I'm like, that's an owl. When I put the brights and start grabbing my extension cord with the bright light, and I zoomed in on it, beamed it up, shined it up there, and I'm like, damn, that is an owl. I said, man, I can't win for nothing.
But what do you think the owl is gonna do to you?
Man, I don't know what these animals capable of doing. They go attack. I know that. These animals today is new.
That
owl, I don't trust these animals.
You're a little too big for an owl to eat. That owl don't want you.
He might want my dog, man.
That owl don't want your dog. What kind of? Hold on. What kind of? You got a bitch ass dog. What kind of dog do you have?
Man, my dog is a pit, man. I call him a pit because if you come over here, you're an ankle biter, man.
No, what kind of dog is it actually?
Man, you just make fun of me.
No, I wouldn't do that. I would, as long as it ain't like a bitch ass labradoodle, then I wouldn't make fun of you.
No, he's a baby. He's a miniature trouser, like in
a miniature what?
Trouser or something like that. He's up in a poodle, like a small poodle almost.
Okay.
You laughing or something?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's not a trouser. Is it maybe a schnauzer?
Schnauzer, trouser, one of them they call it. I didn't get the dog. I just paid for it. Gave my lady the money.
Okay.
So yeah, man, I just don't, that bear get me scared. You never know, man.
That
I live
bear.
by the
Now,
woods.
okay, I'll give you that. That bear might whoop your trouser.
You know, eat her alive. But I'll stay by the woods, and I see deers and bats and everything else, going around. So I'm like, man, I hope that bear don't come this way.
I hope he don't either, cause that trouser ain't gonna be much help at all.
No, he's not. He already trying to square with a deer. I said, man, if you don't get your little punk butt on, that deer about to tear you up. He always, he be biting people. I said, man, quit doing this. So I got called on the land. He called the landlord. Your dog loose. Your dog loose. Man, he escaped, man. He ain't loose. He escaped out the house. I had to make up something, man. Yeah. So.
Well, what else is on your mind? What else is on your mind? The
You
bear,
talk
the
about
owl, and whooping kids.
whooping kids. I don't feel like nothing wrong with that, man. I've been a part of stepdaddy. I took that title many times.
Well, you don't really
But,
have a choice, though, right?
I mean, it's up to me if I want to be with the lady or not. That's my choice.
Well,
That's what I choose to do. But besides me, you got them smart little mouth kids. And you ain't my dad. You don't tell me what to do. I can't wait till my dad come over, get out of jail and all that extra stuff, man. Okay. But I would never, mistreat a child, man. If I got my daughter or son over there or something like that, you go get the now ladies and you go get the now ladies too. Mike and Nice, the little J's, all that. I don't, we go, break bread together. I don't want a child to feel that type of way, man. Oh, he treat your son better than me and all that. Well, okay, you stay in our house and all that. No, I don't do that. I show my love. If I'm stepdaddy or daddy or whatever, I treat them all together. Hey, play with your stepbrother. And play with your stepsister. I don't mistreat a child for nothing. It's been plenty of times, child tried to run up, square with me, and I'll beat you. Man, come on, man. Come on. I never put my hands on her, but, I talk with my voice, man. You can calm that down, man. I ain't even worth it. Why you talking to your mama like that? Go talk to the white man. You want to talk to the white man like that when you want to clown your mom? Man, she just, no, calm this down, man. You not going to do that, man. You out your body for this, man. Don't do that, man. That's your mom. I say I'll do whatever I can to have my mama back. Y'all kids, she give y'all break bread, do whatever, break her neck for y'all. And that's the thanks you give. Don't do that, man. And it used to hurt my heart being around, kids like that, man. The disrespect.
can I tell you something, twin, that you just made me think of? I don't think that I would date a woman who has children, who's living with her, and their father is in jail.
That's true, cause to be honest, that's true, because I went through that, and it never is, and it is, and you get out, and it's like, man, what you want? Man, you ought to be appreciating me, man. I took care of these little bastards, and so you didn't even appreciate me. Like, hey, thanks, twin. A couple of guys did, but you didn't appreciate him. Come on, man. And you forgot I sent you that kite and everything in the joint while you was locked up. Did you thank me then?
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't do
man.
that. Yeah, that's you wild for that.
No, I mean, I'm not wild. I just got a heart.
No,
and
bro,
I knew
you
somebody that knew somebody and stuff. And, okay. Even though he was a different person, on the other side. And I was he hurting and all that. Yeah, man, yeah, shoot him something, man. And everything. You was on top and all that, you the man, but your guys ain't looking out for you. And you talking smack, but, he'll give him some oodles and noodles and send him a kite.
Yeah, that sounds like a woman who just keep making bad decisions.
Yes. And right to this day, I seen that church and, I said, man, what? And I guess she got word that I go there, and I'm like, no. But, that wasn't going to stop me from praising God, but but I have to deal with. I see her every now and then run into her, and how you doing, and keep it moving.
And she probably
Don't
dating
ask
some
me.
other thugged out.
She, there's no she a thought. I know that. And she ain't right. It's sad.
See, that's
Just
what
know
we.
that.
But some of that is your fault.
What you say?
Some of that is your fault.
You can't blame me, man.
Yeah.
Accountable for your own
Because
actions.
because to some degree you justify it when you decide I'm gonna date this person, I'm gonna move in with this person and help raise their kids. Then you're basically saying to that person, "There's nothing wrong with you, baby."
After I realized after years and all that, I thought change was gonna come.
Nah, you should have realized that early on. Like that's one of the things people should be looking for early
I
on when they
mean,
talking about dating
it
is
was
the type of
it was
person.
progressing, man. It was progressing, and next thing I know, hey, you can be up one day, Emmanuel, and be turned down the next. You can be glorified, riches and everything, have everything, but you can lose it at the same time.
What?
And that's what it. Come on, man, get it. Oh, Lord.
I'm not
I'm just
understanding
saying.
what you're saying. Here, hold on. Maybe you didn't understand what I was saying. I'm saying if you meet a woman, before you move in with her, before you take the step to we are involved in a monogamous sexual relationship or whatever, and even moving in that direction, shouldn't you like get to know who she is?
I
And
did already, man.
but
I know, I
but
understand,
you
bro.
didn't.
What
You
you
said
saying?
she was a bad person.
I understand that, but as time, was alone and everything was, fading away. It's like, man, you changed. You're not the person that I met years ago. What happened?
No, she's the same person. She's the same person you met years ago.
Man, no. Behavior wise, attitude, what you picked up, man, it's a story to it, man. It's not the same person.
It's the same person. She making the same decisions that she made then. She decided to have a couple babies with a couple dudes in jail, and then decided to get with you, who, you know what I'm saying, you have your own
She got the same
incarceration
baby
history. Then,
She got the same baby daddy. She ain't have no 2, 3.
well,
Baby
either way,
daddy.
I can almost guarantee you not. He wasn't the first incarcerated type that she's ever dated, and he definitely wasn't the last because she dated you. So come on, she has a certain history of decision making.
You just don't understand, do you? Why do you like to argue to really get somebody's lawnmower started, man? Why do you do that,
I'm
player?
not arguing. I'm
saying you just want to build my blood pressure up on the
no,
Tuesday, which is
I
Taco
don't.
Tuesday.
Hold on. Let me let up off the gas. Let me, that little thing that you hold to keep the lawnmower going. I'm letting it go. I'm not pulling the cord. I'm taking all the gas out. I just want to understand what could you have seen different in the person making the same choices that they were making when they met you.
Listen here, man.
Yes, sir.
It was fine and all dandy, man. And it's I don't know. The streets got to it because I was working and she was working. We was engaged, and I'm like, okay, we go do this, and all that. Then after that, I'm like, why would you quit your job? Because she was working at Waterworks on Spring Grove. She had a good job.
Okay.
I'm like, well, why would you quit your job? Man gave me a migraine and all that. So, I said, you got a migraine. You smoking right now and you drinking. You got a migraine? You don't tell me what to do. Oh, what? Yeah, okay. So she was staying out later and all that. And I'm like, man, I'm not about to put up with this. You want to party and all that and you get mad because I don't want to party? No. I've been there, done that. I don't want to do that. So let's go on a trip or something like that. And, I took out, we did a few trips and all that. And at times, you know, came along and then
Did y'all take the kids
it
when
was,
y'all went on the trip?
sometimes I did.
Okay.
Sometimes I did. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I did. But after that, man, it's like a whole chain. I said, you want to do this and I damn you, man. It was crazy, man, how it went down. So I don't, you know, my girl I'm with now, you know, stepkid, you know, I'm about to, you know, slide on her little son and stuff, rough him up, but I had to teach him, and she told me his situation and everything. But you know, he's doing better, and you know, I don't treat him different. Like if my daughter come over or something like that, my other kids, I treat them all the same. And there ain't no you get a bag of chips, he not getting this, and nah, what you want? Okay, you want these? I got it. To learn the level of a person likable, man. I
Yeah,
never,
yeah, yeah. You're
you
a
know.
stand-up guy.
I don't, I don't disrespect. I don't do that, man. Because you know, I want, regardless, the person might have ADHD or going through something. And I'm gonna hold back my tears, man. But it was, it was, it was, oh, it was about a year ago. He had broke it down to me and stuff because of the situation. And he was like, Twinkie, be my dad. And I'm like, man, I ain't your dad. I was stepdad, and you know, I play a role in your mama. And he used to be hurt and act up in school. And I said, why you do that? I said, you got everything you want and everything there. Why do you act like that? I said, I know you take your ADHD medicine, and I mean, sometimes it works, and then they switch the medicine on the kids. Say, you don't have to act like that. I said, talk to me, man. And then he told me like sometimes, sometimes, sometimes I be hurt 'cause you know I thought dude was my dad, but he wasn't, and come to find out the other person was. And he don't respond to nothing his mama said. I don't want nothing to do with it, none of that. And then kids get stuff, and they dad be at the events and all that. And I said, don't worry about it, man. I said, I'm going to accept you as my son. I said, the only thing I want you to do is just pass and all that. And he used to be on the internet, like, looking for guns and all that. So he go shoot this one person and all that. I said, what? Because I went through his phone and I was going to buy him a Mad. He wanted Mad, not Mad, I'll take that back, college, football. And I'm looking, like, why is he looking for guns? And I told his mom. And she took his phone away for about a month or two. I said, man, you don't need no gun for what? Well, this person messed me in school. And I said, okay. So I went up to the school. I said, what's the issue here and all that? And the lady got disciplined because she go tell, how you tell a child I'm gonna get my nephew to beat you up? The teacher told her that, man. Told my stepson that. I say she dirty, man. So they disciplining the lady and everything. But you know, I talk to him and try to, you know, and I pray for him that wing him off that medicine. Because if he don't have that medicine, but you know, to be honest, man, he hasn't been taken. I said, thank you, Jesus, because man, that medicine ain't nothing, man. I mean, it's supposed to be some calm me down and all that, but no, man.
Now,
I tried.
are you still in his life?
Of course, I'm here. Of course,
Oh,
doing way,
this
man.
is recent. Like this is now.
Yeah. I'm telling the story now.
Oh,
Yes, yeah. But man, he doing, man. God is good, I can say, because he did, man. He doing much better, man. He doing way better than he was. His grades was up and everything. Cause man, he was, man. I was hitting him $20 and all that. That poor Carl, you know, give him the J, you know, keeping up with the Jones, but I can't say he did a whole 360, man. I was shocked.
now how old is he now?
He's my daughter. He's 14,
Okay.
13. And my daughter a year apart. So yeah, he doing way better. So he do. We had to take him out of school because the threats and all that. So I he take care of his brother when me and his mom at work and everything, and I look out for him. But he do online class. But this year and next month, Lord's will, he go back to regular school. And everything
Is
gets
he
accepted.
is he involved in any extracurricular activities?
Yes, yeah, he loves football. I said, well, he want to play basketball. He's 13, 6'1", 6'2". I said, dang, boy, when I met you, you was like 5'5". So he like 6'1", 6'2", and stocky kind. He loves football, and people he was with the little league and stuff, the Buccaneers. So they want him to play for them in the Raiders or something like that. I think he's gonna go to Fannytown, Wynwood. So yeah, man, because he was off the chain for a minute. He get kicked out, flipping chalkboards and all that, and he did a whole 360. And I'm proud of him. Like, man, you get whatever you want, just do good, man. Just do good. That's all I say. I talk to him, in case he feeling. Because sometimes, to be honest, E-Man, he act out a little bit. But, come on, let's bring him back together, man. Come on. Let's go on a walk or whatever. What you want to do? Give me some BW3s, twin. I'm saying, that's all you want. He loves BW3s and crab legs. So, I bless him in everything, man, for being good. Otherwise, he was giving his mama hell. She was stressed out about it. I said, baby, calm down. I got this. Calm down. And everything. So we take a walk. I said, don't try to feed him that medicine. Man, I don't like that. Because he calm and everything. And then next thing you know, if you don't have it, you do a whole 360. Should have talking to me. Leave me alone. Now, he used to say that to me. I'm like, what? So I had to yank him up a little. Man, don't ever disrespect. Don't shut up, talk, and all that. No. And that's for girls. Don't say that, man. Respect her as regards. So I called his grandma. Hey, talk to your grandson. He's showing out again. So she straightened him out.
Is he actively in counseling?
No.
Oh, that might be something that y'all might want to look into.
Ain't no counseling. I don't believe in that craziness, man. It's just a talk. Counselor can't tell you nothing. I don't believe in that crazy stuff.
What?
How you a damn counselor if I'm a drug addict and you trying to counsel me? Come on. You ain't even did no drugs in your life. So why would you counsel me about some drugs if you ain't never experienced? Come on, man. Alcohol or something like that. I don't believe in none of that.
Wait, you didn't say that he was a drug addict or nothing like that. But he's a young person who's experiencing some emotional trauma that he may be able to, get some help from a counselor.
I don't need no damn. Cool.
Therapy is not.
I believe. Excuse me. I believe in them, but some of them I don't. But I don't want no counsel. Get that.
But it's not for you. It's for him.
He tried it. Does it work? Evidently it did.
No, you said it did. You said he done made a 360.
Right. Since I've been with her 5 years. 5 years. And when in the beginning it was, whoa. And everything. I'm like, because I was with her first time, go out, and I finally met her kids like about a week or two. And, and I was around and, whoa, dang, this boy, a demon. And everything. He was a boy. He was off the chain.
Here, can I just make a suggestion? You can dismiss it if you want to, but let me just make a quick suggestion. Just based on what you've said. Emotionally, he has some issues. He definitely has some abandonment issues, with his dads and everything. That's why he's asking you, will you be his dad? He wants it. He feels abandoned and unloved by his dad. I don't know that, at least, let me just speak for me. I don't know that I would be equipped. And then you add on top of that, maybe some other emotional issues in terms of fitting in with other kids, issues in terms of maybe some sort of violent tendencies. You and his mom may not be as well equipped to handle all of those issues as someone who's a trained professional. Like, y'all can play y'all part, but can I just suggest that maybe a trained professional can identify the issues that this young man has and help him work through them along with you and his mom?
That's not true. I mean, that's a good suggestion. Just like I got a Down syndrome nephew, and he didn't like the people, whatever therapists that came over there, because when he fell, and so he hit his chin and all that, and he was traumatized every time they come over here, shake and all that. I'm like, what's wrong? I'm like, what? And so I was like, man, I'm pissed. She supposed to be training him. You know damn well his legs don't lock in like that. He wiggle and all that. And I'm like, no, I got him. So I trained my nephew how to walk and, come down the steps and all that. And it did fine, but you're a therapist. So I used to get mad when she come over and she said, they not let me in. She called her boss. I said, I'm not. And she called my sister. I said, I'm not letting her in because he feel traumatized. Every time he saw her, he would shake. I said, no. You're not doing my nephew like that.
But that's a different situation.
If you know the issue.
No, but I'm saying, but I'm saying that's a different situation than.
No, it's not. If you know your siblings' issues or what they going on, no, you don't know that person like I know him. I know that boy. I know what he's capable of doing when he go flip out. I know because I've been around. You only around him a 1 to 2 hours or whatever the case may be. He went through that counseling stuff. Did it work? No. If it did work, he wouldn't be acting out. So I don't, to certain ones, maybe it worked, maybe it don't.
That's true.
That's why they say different strokes for different folks. So it wasn't working, man. Well, it's way before I stepped in the picture. She was telling me, then I had experience in like, man, sure, you treat me all right. And I experienced, oh, wow. You told your mama shut up? Right in front of me. She was talking to me. I said, what if I'd have said this, man? My brothers or somebody been all over me. So, yeah, man. She been did that, been through the process of that, Emanuel. So it didn't work.
All right.
So it's the way you talk to a person or handle the situation. Or how do you react when he ain't on that mess? Instead of what to do. And everything. So, he was a little kid, and he ain't been in trouble, man. I can say that.
When you gonna marry that woman? That's what I want to know.
It was some Friday. Man, it was a long story, man.
No. Ain't no ooh, it's a long story. You've taken on her son as your son. You have a son by her. It is marry that woman or leave her alone.
I understand where you're coming from. Because if my mom was living, she would say the same thing you would be saying. I understand where you're coming from. It's going to happen. Because I ain't looking for nobody else. I might flirt or say crazy stuff. But other than that, I love this girl, right? And it's going to come me, man.
So hold on. What's stopping you?
You're not about to get in my info.
No. I'm just asking, and I'm asking you as because there are a lot of men who I would say string women along. Like, I love you and I want to be. What is your fear? What is your fear of commitment about? Like, is it, if I marry her, I might be missing out on something different? Or is
that don't even cross my mind.
So is it, I don't want to marry her because I don't want to be locked down to one because I might want to leave one day? Is it?
Come on, man. I'm up in age. Why would that stuff even cross my mind?
Right. So then what's
You're not going to get it out of me, so quit asking.
What?
You're not going. you're not gonna get it out of me. So quit asking me.
You
man.
feel like she
You're
gonna
not-
leave you, like she gonna change if y'all get married and things ain't gonna be the
That don't
same?
even cross my mind, man. That don't even cross my mind.
Then what is the hang? If you got no hang up and you love her like you say you do, and you've embedded yourself in her life and her in your life and the children and all commingled and everything, I don't understand what is the like. She want to get married, right?
Once again, you're not gonna get it out of me.
She want to be married, and you say you want to marry her. What's the hang up? What's the hold up?
You're not gonna get it out of me, man. I'm just stand on it. You're not gonna get it. I'm not gonna answer that. I
All right.
plead the fifth on that one.
All right.
Okay, you can try again, but you're not gonna get it out of me.
Okay.
I gave you my, story and, stepchild and all that. It's all one love, man. I don't think I can save you, man.
All right. Well,
Right?
I wish the best for
I'm
everybody
Alan.
involved in the situation.
Yeah, well, that's all we can do. Yeah, so I'll just sit back and listen. Probably go to work at 9 o'clock and keep it moving.
All right.
All right, man.
Hey, I
Be
appreciate
safe, man.
I appreciate your call, man. Have a great day.
All right, bro.
All right. That was Twin. And I'm not trying to be funny and even not necessarily just speaking about Twin, but I run into guys who will be with somebody for a long time. And they like, I love her. Like, okay, you love her. She love you? Yeah. She want to get married. All right. Oh, I'm going to marry her too. All right. So you going to marry her. What you waiting on? What you waiting on? I don't know what you waiting on. I understand if you like, man, I'm too young. There's other women out here, I just ain't ready to settle down. All right, then don't get married. If you're not ready to settle down, don't get married. That makes sense. Oh man, there's some stuff about her that is making me hesitant because there it ain't a lot of issues. It's just a couple of issues, but those issues could blow up into something big. So I need to, kind of feel this out for a little longer because I'm not sure. Because when I get married, I want to get married once and I want it to last. Then don't get married until you sure. I get that. I understand that. But if you like, look, everything is good. I love her. She love me. I love the kids. The kids love me. We work together good. She, like I said, she want to get married. I want to get married. I done sold all my oats and it ain't no, ooh, I might find something different or I ain't ready to settle down. If it's everything is exactly as it should be and I'm ready for marriage, then what you waiting on? I don't understand. And I don't have to understand. I'm not in the situation, but I would like to understand. I would like to understand. Wonder Woman say, I left a long time relationship for that reason. I had to stop wasting my time. Which reason? Which reason, Jacqueline? I threw out a lot of different reasons. I'm not sure which one you talking about. Carolyn say Twin for the streets. Twin say he ain't for the streets. That was back in the day. He was for the streets. He not for the streets no more. He ready to settle down. And he feel like he found the one. He ain't looking for nobody else. That's weird. It just seemed to me like when you find the one, gonna lock it down. You know what I'm saying? If you ready to be locked down. Oh, Jack said he didn't want to get married, but you did. Okay. Yeah, you at some point it becomes her responsibility to say, and maybe, there are some people who are just like, hey, I don't believe in marriage. Okay, cool. I understand that too. We're going to be together and we don't have to go through that whole ceremony. I get that too. But that ain't him. He didn't say that. He believes in marriage. He wants to marry her. Jacqueline, why did he say he didn't want to get married? Does he just not believe in marriage? Or was he not convinced that you were the one? There's a lot of reasons why people might not want to get married. To you, not you, Jacqueline. But there's a lot of reasons why somebody might not want to get married. You might be the problem. They might be the problem. I was with somebody. Thought about getting married. She wanted to get married. But there was some issues. I was like, not until these issues are resolved and I'm convinced that this thing is going to work, like it's going to work. There's some, as you said, maybe they wasn't red flags, but they were pink. You know what I'm saying? They were turning red. It was somewhere between, I guess, green and red. That wouldn't be pink, would it? But there was some strangely colored flags. And until we resolve these flags, and they're all green, it's not happening. And then come to find out, some of them flags turned red. And it was like, hey, this ain't for me. I thought this was for me. But as things revealed themselves, I realized this was not for me. It's time to move on. Jacqueline says he acted like he was scared to make the commitment. Was he? I don't want to get all in your business. He ain't. Men are not scared to commit. If he's scared to commit. He has a fear of commitment. He don't have a fear of commitment. He does not have a fear of commitment. He don't want to commit to you. Or he don't want to commit right now because he ain't finished playing. Men don't have a fear of commitment. If he know you the one and he finished playing, ain't no, I'm scared. What's going to happen? That's never the case. Well, okay, let me not say never because, who am I? But that's typically not the case. Jacqueline said maybe Bob just wasn't the one, but he's still not married. So he's still out there playing. And there's nothing wrong with that. He still want to be out there playing or, he don't want to be committed. He want to be able to do whatever he want to do. Not that he want to play right now, but he know he might want to play at some point. And he don't want to be tied down to somebody who don't want him to play. But men don't have a fear of commitment. Terry said, how about she don't want to commit to him? Let's be honest. Y'all hear how he talked with all the lies. I don't know that he lied. And I take his word for it that she ready to get married and he's not. Jacqueline say that's fine with me. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you if he doesn't, because people have to understand. Some stuff is just best to move on from. Some stuff is just best to move on from. You not the problem. They're the problem. And it's not, I'm not saying they're a problem, but, if they don't want what you want, don't try to make them want what you want. You just move on. And then you find somebody who want what you want. And then y'all work together. Diane Huston says, no one should settle. I don't like that word settle. I don't like that word settle. I'm not 100% sure what you mean. I don't like that word settle just because to me, it has a lot of negative connotation, like somebody ain't good enough for you. And I'm not saying that's necessarily how you mean it, but a lot of times it does have that connotation. So I don't like that term. You might mean the same thing that I mean when I use a whole lot of words to say settle, but I just don't. It's something about when you talk about settle. Again, it sounds like somebody beneath you. Mary say he live in her house or his spot. I guess he live in his spot. Based on, the things I've heard him say, he live in his own spot. She live in her spot. And, they're having a relationship. Ronald Dixon say, right. I don't know what that mean either. Yeah, I hear a lot of times I hear women, when women talk about settling, they're basically saying there's this guy that's beneath me who might be overall a great guy, but he not that guy. So if I go with this guy who's a perfectly good guy, probably got everything I need, probably make me the happiest person in the world, but he ain't that guy. He's not a billionaire. He don't make $350,000 a year. Now I gotta settle for a guy that only make $150,000 a year. A lot of times it's that context. I gotta settle for a guy who, I don't know, he's bald and I want a guy with full hair. I gotta settle for, I don't like stuff like that. Again, Diane, I'm not saying that that's what you mean when you say it. I tried to be clear about that. You might be meaning exactly what I'm saying. I just don't like the word because it has that connotation to it. Even though you might mean the exact thing that I mean when I was saying, if she don't want the same thing you want, and if he don't want the same thing you want, it's time to go y'all separate ways because what y'all doing together ain't gonna work. That might be what you mean when you don't settle. Again, it's the wording for me. It's not what you meant behind it. Shannon say, remember, we only getting his side. Maybe she's seen some pink flags. I don't know about her. I don't know anything about her. Again, I do know I wouldn't date no woman who, she's into dating criminal type dudes. And that whatever kind of criminal. Like if your past 3 boyfriends all ended up in jail for financial crimes, I'm not kicking it with you. There's something that you are attracted to, some type of personality, some sort of lack of integrity that attracts you that hopefully I don't have. And you settling for me. I'm going to settle for this guy, and he don't even commit tax evasion. But I settle for him. No, don't settle for me. Go and find you a tax evasionist. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you got to do. Go find you a dude with, some bodies on him who just got out of jail. If that's what you like, that's what you like. I'm not that dude. I figure I would try something different and settle for somebody who ain't never murdered nobody. No, thank you. I will pass. I don't need a whole line of murder exes. You might get mad at me one day, and then next thing I know, I got 12 murderers that you can just call out of nowhere and be like, oh, you remember you murdered that one dude? That's how I want you to murder him. No, thank you. No, don't settle for me. If you like murderers, go find you a murderer. They out there. Putting money on your girl's ex's books is crazy work. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, my God. I wish the hell Mrs. Livingston would ask me to put some money on some criminal's books, because that's my ex and he in jail and he having a hard time. So go put some money on his butt. I don't think I ever called her the B word, but I would have to be like, B, you out your mind. What? Ain't no way. It's a different ain't no way, Aretha Franklin, because ain't no way I'm putting no money on my ex's books. On my girl's ex's books. Ain't no way. Ain't no way in hell. But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? It's a lovely gesture. It's a lovely gesture for somebody else. It sounds absolutely wild to me. Yeah, I don't think I've ever called her the B word. And when I say that, I don't mean face to face. Of course, I've never done it that. But I mean, even in terms of my hypotheticals, I don't think I've ever called her the B word in a hypothetical. Again, somebody might be able to pull up because I throw out some wild hypotheticals. But even in my hypotheticals, I don't think I've ever called her the B word. I can still say that because I didn't call her that. Twin says it was a favor. F that favor. It ain't that much favor. It ain't that, but that's just me. Twin, I'm not saying that you're wrong. You know you. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying I wouldn't do it. As a favor, as a nothing. Can you do me a favor? Yeah, baby, what you need? I used to date this guy named James, and he in jail, and he really having a hard time. Can you put $50 on his books? The fuck did you just say? Yeah, I used to date this dude named James, and he in jail, and he having a hard time. Can you put $50, $25 on his books? Wait, did you just ask me to put some money on some other dude's books? Like, this ain't your brother. This ain't your daddy. This is some dude that used to beat it up. And you want me to pay him? You want me to put some money on the dude that used to beat it up before me? You want me to put some money on his book? Did you just say that? For real? Did you just say that to me? Diane say change the name. My husband's name is James. It's a different James. It's a different James, Diane. Jerry said, you better off stealing it from me and putting it on their books. Because after you ask, I'm out. Right. You just broke up with me. I mean, that's what you just did. That question was the same as saying, baby, this ain't working. It's time for you to move on. Because it's going to have the same effect. But if you would, that don't make you a bad person. I wouldn't. Oh, if Mrs. Livingston ever want to break up with me, all she got to do is listen to this show. It's a few things that she could say. And then, because, sometimes people like to break up with people, but they don't want to be at fault. Believe it or not, ladies, a lot of times when you find some stuff out about your man, he lets you find it out, and it may or may not be true, but he lets you find it out so that you would break up with him because he didn't want to hurt your feelings. I know that sounds crazy. Like you found a picture where he sent a picture of his thing to some other woman. He might not even done that. He let you find that out so that you could break up with him because he didn't want to hurt your feelings. Or he did something insensitive so that he didn't make you cry. You know what I'm saying? So you could have that story to your girls. Like, shoot, I wasn't going to put up with that girl. When I found out, I told him I'm out. Or you need to get the F out. Shoot, I'm a strong black woman. I ain't got time to be putting up with that. So you could tell the story in strength. I broke up with him. Men actually do that. He knew it was your birthday. He didn't forget. He just knew that if he forgot your birthday, you would break up with him. And that was really what he wanted anyway. And the easy way is, oh, damn, I forgot it was your birthday. I ain't gonna be with no man who don't remember my birthday. Oh, dang, I just blew it. I blew a good thing. You never miss your water till your water run dry. All right. Girl, he forgot my birthday. And you know I don't put up with that. You know I don't put up with that. If a man can't appreciate you, then he can't be with you. Okay, good. Girl, go on, girl. Go on, girl. You broke up with him. Now he's sitting back like, ooh, I'm out. Whew. Because he don't care what you tell your girls. And then he didn't have to say, you know what, baby, this ain't working. You chew with your mouth open, and I can't stand that. So I'm breaking up with you. He just let you break up with him. He feel good. You feel good. Everybody happy. In case you didn't know. So, when you start catching your man, if you're not married, when you start catching your man doing a lot of stuff that he know get on you, or you think that he should know get on your nerves, and it's getting to the point, and you talking about we need to talk, and he like, okay, baby, I'll do better, and he keep doing the same thing, he might want you to break up with him. Sometimes we weak like that. Sometimes we are weak like that. You don't know how hard it is to tell somebody something. Let's tell somebody that they crying. Oh, you feel so bad. But you got to think about you. And it's just so much easier to get broke up with. Be the bad guy. Whatever. Y'all knew what I meant. You don't miss your, what did I say? You don't miss your well until your water run dry. Well, I don't know what I said. Y'all know what I meant. maybe the water do run dry. It evaporates. Haters. Why y'all being haters? Janice and Mary being haters. Oh. What did I say? For real. Because I was thinking I didn't miss my water until my well ran dry. What did I say? What did I say? And why are y'all haters? That's what I really want to know. More than what I said, I want to know why y'all haters. Why did y'all choose hate in this moment? Shannon said, I thought we stopped rolling necks in the early 2000s. These young girls, do they roll their necks? They clap and get in your face. That's what they do. They don't necessarily do this no more. You right. They do their hands like this and they clap. And I think clapping is going out too. But that is what they do. They don't do that no more. The young girls. Y'all old chicks still roll y'all necks. Just so y'all know. Y'all didn't stop doing it because it turned 2010. You know what I'm saying? Y'all still do it. The finger and the neck and all that kind of stuff. But the young girls do this. And I told him and why he got to do this. And then when he there, and I told you I wasn't going to the store no more. You know. So, yeah. And this. Y'all do this. Y'all grab the time clock. That's what I call it. The time clock. Grab the time card. Y'all grab the time card. Or the young girls, they grab the time card. I don't know why in my mind that's grabbing the time card. I told you I wasn't going. Y'all do that. Ed said, you said you don't miss your water until your water run dry. But I didn't hate on you. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Ed. Genesis, you said until your water runs dry. Okay. All right. Yeah, Nat. I don't know why that's grabbed the time card, but they do that. In my head, that's what they doing every time I see it. People don't even use time cards no more. So you know how old that is. We had a time card, old school time card thing. You put the thing in. And then I had one job where you slid it in and it read the time and then it spit it back out. It was a little plastic card and it spit it back out and you had to grab it. And so that's what I see. They grabbing the time card. Oh, y'all, I gotta get out of here. Look, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Hopefully I don't get eaten by a black bear tomorrow. I might not be on tomorrow. It all depends on what time my daughter brings her car. Now, I told her to bring it early in the morning, like at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I'm changing her shocks and struts all the way around. So I don't know exactly how long that's going to take. But if she brings it early in the morning, I should be on. But if she doesn't, I got to get it done tomorrow. When I drove her car, when we went to Cedar Point, that car was bouncing around the road. I was like, why are you driving this car like this? So what's wrong with my car? This car, the wheels don't stay on the road. It bounces around the road. It drives just fine. It does not drive just fine. So I had to, buy shocks and struts all around, and I'll put them on tomorrow. So I don't know if I'm on tomorrow. Again, if I'm done, I'll be on tomorrow. If I am still working on her car, then I'll still be working on her car. But I'll try to remember to let y'all know. All right? All right, well, that's it. I got to get out of here. Oh, I was supposed to be somewhere. No, I wasn't. I think he said 7. I got to go because I think I have somewhere that I'm supposed to be today. And I just thought about it. So y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Stay cool if you can. And yeah, Jerica say, oh no, yeah, you gotta get her together. I've come to the conclusion that I'm gonna borrow her car at least once a month. At least once a month, I'm gonna borrow her car and drive it for the day. Cause I need to know when things are wrong with her car. Cause she don't know. She don't know. It drives, so she good. It drives. I don't have no problem, but it's bouncing all over the road. So yeah, she is my responsibility, until she get a husband. And so I'm going to have to borrow her car once a month. Once a month until, that happens. Or until I can no longer drive, be an old man and can't drive no more. But yeah, she can't be driving around like that. So, got to take care of it. All right. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. As always, as you're out and about enjoying the evening, be the reason that somebody smiles today. Till next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.